Well, welcome back to episode 3 of the 2023 Fall Foliage Tour. I'm so happy to be bringing you another video, and we're just really kicking off on fire up here. Where we're at, we are in like the Rangeley, just south of Rangeley, above Smalls Falls area, and I mean it's just crazy. And also the other really cool thing is it's dismal today, and I love dismal when it comes to photography with colors, because you look at these colors and they're just so much more saturated. It's like putting a polarizer over the sun, and there's fog in the air. We're gonna get set up and start shooting. The only hard thing about shooting in these conditions where it's just gorgeous everywhere is trying to find that composition, and maybe I can help work you through a composition just so when you go out to go shoot during the foliage season, you can actually pinpoint some areas that might be pretty neat. All right, well, I'm gonna get going. All right, there's a bunch of atmospheric conditions, fog, just want to sound technical, up on this hill, and it's kind of coming in and out, but there's a lot of color. So I can do two things. I could get the drone up, but I'm not going to, because flying in fog, A, you have to have certain visibility for legal requirements, but B, fog is just clouds, which clouds are moisture. So my camera on my drone, and the drone itself is not weather sealed, but my camera systems are, the one you're on and the one I'm about to pull out here. And I think I'll get my tripod and just either make it as tall as it can go, or I might actually go up on the roof of my car. So for this attempted composition, this is going to be a 7200 2.8 lens, and that's 70 to 200 millimeters is what that is. The 2.8 is your aperture, and that's going to be how expensive your piece of glass is. Not really. Yes, really, but that's not what it means. Your aperture is how big of a opening is going to be your maximum aperture, so how big of an opening is on your glass itself. So the lower the number, the bigger the hole. It's kind of backwards. But it also means things are going to be gathering so much more light that are coming to your sensor. So we're going to use that, which is funny because we always drop down to like say F11, which is more pinpoint, but that goes into depth of field. And I don't want to get too crazy with how everything works. I do offer a basic photography class at Adult Ed, so you can always check that out. It starts actually next week. I offer a advanced photography, starts next week. I offer a FAA drone license prep class and basic operations, starts in 2 weeks. So it's there. All right. I think I'm gonna go on the roof. Wish me luck. Hope I don't break anything. Yep. Spread my weight out a little bit. The reason I'm doing this, I'm not even sure if I'm in frame, but I want to isolate a scene, so it's all about punching in as far as possible and trying to isolate a scene. Which I like this. There's a single tree up here. It's pretty neat, but I'm trying to figure out what composition's gonna work. If it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a vertical pan. Vertical. Okay. So now I'm dropping down to probably F8. And I'm gonna probably focus stack this image. I'm gonna lock this down. So we're shooting right now, and I'm using the touch screen on my Nikon to touch different areas of this image, so that way that's where it's going to focus. And the reason being is you want to focus at different planes, distances, and then later in post we'll put those together to create one image. But this is just to get warmed up. It's a really neat tree. It's just kind of, it's very odd compared to the rest of the trees around it. So let me throw this back in landscape and show you what we're looking at here, because it will kind of give you an idea. Just, okay, go ahead and take a look real quick. Look at that tree. Just stands way out. I wish we can get a little closer, but I think this will do for now. It's a good start. All right, well, magic of video, we're at our next spot. It only took me another hour to find this. I actually found this earlier. I pinned it on my map. There's a nice little mountain stream, and I'm gonna force myself to find some compositions in here. I'd like to at least get 2 compositions, and I'm gonna use a 7200 to do so. So it's really gonna be kind of picking apart little scenes. We'll see what we can find. I can already see there's like some swirling going on here with the leaves. That could be a cool long exposure. We may have to go back and go get the ND filters, but we'll see what we get. Okay, so I'll talk you through this scene here. I'm going to darken this down just a little bit. So you could see here that there's a log that runs up, and then there's this rock right here. Those are going to be stationary, and it creates this nice little triangle point. But you watch the leaves, and they're actually swirling in here, 2 different directions. So I'm going to do a long exposure. I'm going to drop it down to, say, f16. We're watching our histogram. We'll say that, 2.5 seconds, and then we're going to focus right on, 1 second here, there we go. We're going to focus right on the rock, and that way, because everything else is going to be out of focus besides those 2 stationary points. So it's doing a long exposure. Now let's take a quick peek in the back of the camera, see what it looks like. And you can see it's got those swirls. So now let's just get one more. I'm going to go to f22. You never really want to do this, but I'm not using it for the rocks. I'm using it for the leaves just to get that long exposure. That's why, you know, you can break rules in photography. That's why it's there. So this is going to be a few seconds. It was 6 seconds actually. So let's see what kind of long exposure we got. Look at that. Very cool. So it's just something different. But we've got another one in the can, and we'll be able to see what it looks like later, and we'll do a little post-processing just to cut down those highlights a little bit. All right, let's go to the next little spot in the brook here. The way that this water is running, but there's quite a bit of leaves in the water. It's just a very simple scene. I'll show you what it looks like here on camera. Once I take a look. Simple. I may move around a little bit, but I'm going to see what we're going to get with this. Well, I hope you enjoyed episode 3, and we'll see you in episode 4. Should be coming out soon. Yeah. Really hope you enjoyed it. Got some pictures. We'll put them across the screen here momentarily. If we haven't already, we'll put just kind of everything across the screen. The other thing I just want to say is I'm going to try to call a moose. Just see if a moose comes in. And if it goes to the pictures, then I'd say that I didn't get a moose to come in. But if it shows any more, then keep your eyes open. We'll see what happens. But I don't have much luck in it right now.